Good morning, young and sane fam. Hey, you there. Welcome back to the Young and Sane podcast. This is a safe space, of course, where we have real and honest conversations about the things that impact our emotional and mental well being, our personal growth, our sanity, and our young lives as individuals. We talk about trauma and a lot of things here. And I'm your host for today. Tamarflourish is my name. And in today's podcast episode, we'll be talking about self worth, we'll be talking about confidence, and we'll be talking about how to stop settling for less than you deserve. So, settling can show up in so many ways. Can show up in as staying in toxic relationships, can show up as accepting less pay than what you're worth. It can show up in tolerating friendships that drain you, or even playing small in your own life because deep down you don't believe that you deserve better. Oh my god. So in a lot of ways we've been settling for less, right? And so today we're going to be diving into what self-worth really is, signs that you're settling in different areas of life, why you are settling and how to break the circle, and then practical steps to build unshakable confidence in yourself. If you've ever questioned your value, or you've struggled with confidence, or you found yourself stuck in situations that don't serve you, then this episode is for you. Let's get right into it. Let's start with the big question: what is self worth? Self worth is the belief that you are valuable and deserving of good things just as you are. It's different from confidence, which is about your belief in your abilities. Self worth is deeper, it's about believing in yourself at your core. And here's the thing: many of us tie our self worth to external things, our looks, achievements, relationship, or what other people think of us. But real self worth doesn't come from those things, it comes from within. So, here are key signs of having a healthy self worth. One of it is that you set boundaries and don't allow mistreatment. The second thing is that you believe that you deserve love, respect, and happiness. And then another thing is that you don't let fear of rejection or fear of failure define you. But what happens when you don't have a strong self worth? That's what we call settling for less. So settling for less can happen in so many areas of your life. And of course, we've highlighted some of them right at the beginning of this podcast episode, but let's mention them again. Some of the ways that you settle for less without even realizing it. Number one, very prominent area is relationships. So you stay in relationships where you're not valued or respected because you're afraid of being alone, or you're afraid of being abandoned, just all of those things. And then it also shows up in friendships when you keep toxic friends who drain you because you don't believe you will find better ones, because you are scared that people are not really real, and then it will take you time to find better friends, or you're in a phase of life or in a season of your life where you're not sure that you've seen people that are better, so let's you just keep your toxic friends. Oh my god. So you're settling for less. And then there's settling for less in career, when you're sticking to a job that underpays or undervalues you because you don't believe that you can get something better. And it's always rooted in the fear that you cannot get something better, or you don't want to be alone, or you cannot find something better. And so you can also settle in your dreams and goals when you play small and you're not taking risk. You're not convincing yourself that what you have is good enough to get you what you want, right? So if you ever found yourself justifying a situation with "it's not that bad, at least I have something, have bread is better than none." You see that one. See, have bread is not better. you must chop the full bread because you deserve the full bread in the first place and not half bread. So you have to, or you say, maybe I don't deserve more. All of these words, it's time to get up and ask yourself, why am I settling for less? And let's talk about it. Why do people settle for less? Settling for less is often a reflection of our inner beliefs and some of the reasons why we settle for less. I'll list some of them, but you believe certain things, right? And that's why you settle for less. And these your inner beliefs could be the reasons why you settle for less. And some of your inner beliefs could be the fear of the unknown. So you fear uncertainty. It's easier to stay where you are than to step into uncertainty or into a place that is unfamiliar or into something that is not familiar. And your brain is going to favor it because our brain is built to be used or to be comfortable in something that is familiar, and it doesn't thrive in something like unfamiliar. But when you challenge your brain to step into the unfamiliar, you're going to get past that. Now, another thing why people settle for less is low self-esteem. So if you don't believe that you deserve better, you will not go after it. Okay, so a lot of people just think of themselves as low. They think of themselves as not deserving better, so they won't go after something that is better. Another reason why people settle for less is past trauma and conditioning. So if you grew up in an environment where love or success felt conditional, you had to be somewhere or be something or have certain people for you to be able to be successful. If you grew up in such environments that conditioned you to think like that, then you may struggle to believe that you're worthy of more. Another reason is societal and family pressure. Sometimes we settle for less because we are afraid of disappointing other people. So our family have a certain expectations for us. Remember, I don't know if you've listened to some episodes back where I talked about breaking from unhealthy family expectations. I told a story. And so, in that kind of situation where you have an expectation from your dad or your mom or your parents or your family that you have to do a certain way or behave a certain way, you're afraid of disappointing others, and in that case you're settling for less because it does not feel true to you. It's not something that you deserve. So, but we have a good news. You don't have to stay stuck. And let's talk about how you can break free from settling for less and step into your worth. Here is I know here's that part that I've been waiting for. How do you stop settling? How do you now build unshakable confidence? How do you start living in your full worth? I'm going to list out some steps that you can take. Number one is to get clear on what you want and what you deserve. But before you get clear on what you want and what you deserve, you have to dig through those beliefs, those unhealthy beliefs, those unhealthy patterns, belief systems that you formed over time about yourself and what you deserve. And so when you've dug through that, and when through identity coaching, you can do that, and you can send me a DM on Instagram to book a session for identity coaching. Now, when you've done this, right, when you've dug through those feelings, and you can simply do that by identifying the limiting beliefs that you have about yourself and why you don't deserve um what you think that you don't deserve. And then on the opposite side of the paper, you can write down on a paper or on a journal, and then on the opposite side you can now write um what the opposite of the things you think you don't deserve. Now cancel those limiting beliefs and the reasons why you think you don't deserve them, and then begin to focus on those opposite things, that like the opposite of your limiting beliefs. Begin to focus on those things, begin to focus on it. And sometimes it can be hard to do this, but through identity coaching, someone holding your hands can hold your hands. So you can send me a DM on Instagram to book a session. So when you have done all of these things, it will be easier for you to now become clear on what you actually want and deserve. So write down your non-negotiables in relationship. What do you want in relationship? What do you want in career? What do you want in life? Write it down. Define what a fulfilling life looks for you. You have to have the picture before you for you to now know how to get it. Now rewire your inner dialogue. I mentioned this before, right? Challenge the negative self-talk. Instead of saying I'm not good enough, you say I'm worthy of great things. So if you had a limiting belief that was I'm not good enough, you now counter it with saying or looking at the fact that or believing the fact that you are worthy of great things. There's a whole lot of process that is involved here, and that is why you need someone to walk you through, or you can do it alone. Depends on your determination, alright? So begin to challenge your negative self-talk. Instead of saying I'm not good enough, you say I'm worthy of great things. Speak to yourself like you would to your close friend. The third thing to do is set boundaries and enforce them. Stop tolerating what drains you, as we discussed in the last episode. Stop tolerating what drains you. Learn to say no to things that do not align with your values. The fourth way to do this is to surround yourself with people who uplift you, right? How to stop settling for less is to surround yourself with people who uplift you, who will make you to see the bigger picture, who make you to see possibilities, unlimited possibilities. So you distance yourself from people who make you to feel small and seek out relationships that reflect the self-worth you are trying to build. Number five is to take bold action. Take bold action steps. Apply for the job that you think is out of reach. Don't be scared of rejection. Don't be scared that you do not deserve it. Don't be scared that you're not worthy for it. Just apply to that job that you think is out of reach. Walk away from relationships that no longer serve you. Don't be scared of not finding someone else. The world is abundant enough that it has a lot of resources that you deserve. So when you become this person who believes in your self-worth and your value, right, and you've learned to stop settling, you're going to begin to see realities that align with what you believe about yourself. So you're going to begin to attract who you are. You're going to attract people that are like who you are. You're going to attract circumstances that reflect who you are. You're going to attract situations that reflect who you are. So you have to take bold actions. Apply for the job that you used to think is out of reach for you. Walk away from relationships that no longer serve you. Invest in yourself, whether it's therapy, whether it's coaching, whether it's learning new skills and practicing self-care. Invest in yourself. And this is basically all that you need to do for you to stop settling. At the end of the day, your life is a reflection of what you believe you deserve. I've mentioned that before. So if you're settling, I want you to know this. You're worthy of more. You deserve respect, love, and opportunities that align with your highest potential. You are worthy. You're more worthy than you think you are. You are very valuable. You have value. Okay? And so here's my challenge for you. Choose one area of your life where you've been settling. From all I've described in this podcast episode, you're going to know if you're settling or if you're going for things that align with your highest potential. So choose one area of your life where you've been settling and take one small step towards change this week. Follow through on the steps on how to stop settling and just take one small step towards your changes, whether it's having a hard conversation, whether it's applying for a new job, whether it's challenging the negative beliefs and thoughts you have about yourself, or simply speaking to yourself with more kindness. Just start from somewhere, and I'll be expecting your testimony. So if you have any comments, questions, or responses, or whatever you want to say, you can drop them here on Spotify, here on YouTube. I'll be in the comment section waiting for your input, and you can also send us a DM at the Young and Sane Podcast on Instagram to, relate any concerns that you have. You can also send us a DM signifying that you want to book a session, or comment down below and I'll reach out to you. Alright. Thank you for joining me on the Young and Sane podcast episode today. If this episode resonated with you, please share it with someone who needs to hear this. And don't forget to subscribe, leave a review, and follow us on social media at the Young and Sane podcast. Until next time, know your worth and never settle for less. Love you. Bye.